Welcome to the Preschool All Stars podcast. I'm your host, Joy Anderson. And with us today, we have a really cool all star. Her name is Jenn Rose. And Jenn, we're so glad to have you here. Before we share your story, which also includes you signing up students within just a couple weeks, let's go back for a second and share your backstory. Like, where were you before you met me? What were some of the struggles that you were having? What did you want out of life?
So I definitely didn't think about starting a preschool, but your book came up on my feed one day and I thought, wow, that'd be really cool. Um, I I didn't order it, but I definitely meant to. And then
Mm,
one day I just saw that, you had a group opening to All Stars. I didn't know what it was,
right?
but I saw that you were helping people start their businesses and it was a challenge and I'm all for challenges. So I thought,
Cool.
hey, let's do it.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
awesome. So what was life like before? Where were you working?
So I work in an insurance office and I now have an 18-month-old
Yeah.
and my partner, he's really into, being an entrepreneur. And before the preschool idea, I've have some skills in my back pocket, but I've always been like a procrastinator. And
Mm,
so also I've never had the idea of being my own boss. But then, when he came into my life, I thought, wow, well, I could surely do something with any of these. And I almost felt bad because I had all these skills and I just never did anything with it. At one point, I was doing like a juicing business. I started a website, and I can tell you now that that was really hard to do by
right.
myself.
Right.
But it kind of get got me into in a role. I felt like, okay, I kind of got an idea of doing that. I can do this.
Yeah.
So I work part-time now, and I was just trying to see if I could do something on my own.
Yeah.
And I still work part-time and just trying to see if I can get something off the ground because I do want to be with my baby.
Oh, I
I
love
really
that.
do. Um, and yeah, just trying to get my foot on the ground, or at least just I now have a better idea of what I could do with my time and
Yeah,
how I
totally.
want my yeah, my life to look in years from now.
Yeah. What I love too is like you're finding along the way, like you did the juicing business and you tried your hand at that and was like, okay, well, let's see if this is resonating with our lifestyle and with what we want. And I think like you had that success where you've got some momentum in that and trying your hand at entrepreneurship and then seeing this next thing where it's like, hey, wait a second. I could actually see how this could work for my family, right? Is that kind of what happened?
Exactly, yes. And I think it was just one of those things by luck, by chance, or just, God taking care of me,
Yeah,
just paying attention to the clues, the signs, and going with it.
that's awesome. I love just, taking that leap and moving forward. There was an image I saw today. It was, I don't even know how I can describe this, but it was the basic gist is like you got to take the next step because the next one won't be given to you until you take that step, right? So it's kind of like you see your pathway evolve as you're taking the steps, which is kind of cool.
That's
So,
exactly it. It really feels that way.
yeah, nice. So you jumped into Preschool All Stars. You kind of just hit the ground running. I was a little bit like, holy cow, this girl's just going ahead. I love it. So walk us through the process. Like once you jumped in, what did you do?
What did I do? I just followed the steps. I'm gonna be honest, I was skeptical. I'm always watching what I spend and how I spend it. So I just thought, man, another thing I'm gonna get into. How much is this going to be? But
Mm.
after purchasing it and following the steps and seeing what to do and how to go about it, I'm like, wow, this is more than I could have expected. It really is. I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's
Mhm.
good to hear too the other side, which is like, as an entrepreneur, there are definitely many things that we try and that we buy and invest in with the entire intention to make it work, right? And sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So I can totally understand the skepticism of like, is this going to be like one of the past things that I've done, But I'm proud of you for even with that, just I'm going to do the work. So that's awesome. That's like number one right there. So you jumped in, you got your website done pretty quickly. And then talk to us about how like you made a post in the group. You said, hey, I was supposed to get, and I was applying for this one job and it didn't work out, but guess what? This other thing worked out. So, like, walk us through what happened.
Yeah, so I was applying for a remote job, and with that, I thought I could get the training done within a year, and by then have a good amount of time in the company where I can work the preschool into my
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out, and I had a parent who was interested in the preschool. I let them know I was going to start in 2025, but
Right.
they have two kids, and one of them is ready to start kinder this year. And
Mm.
they asked me, it's like, hey, well, why aren't you starting it this year? You're just wanting to know. And I told them my situation. And then when the job didn't fall through, I said, hey, are you still interested? And I just wanted to jump into it, kind of like not to lose a lead. And
Yeah.
then also just, I'm already putting the work in. Why not just start now?
Yeah.
I'm only working part-time, so that could it already works in with my schedule.
Yeah.
So
What
I'm doing it.
That's awesome. When are you going to start?
So I'm gonna do June.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what summer camp is, but I'm thinking 2 months right before the school year,
Hmm.
already, taking care of kiddos and doing some fun summer activities while learning, teaching.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
awesome. The thing I want to bring out to everybody's attention really quick is you jumped in and you said the comment, I'm going to probably spend about a year kind of going through the steps so that, a year from now in 2025 with the other job, I will be able to kind of work in the preschool angle. So you kind of have this like, it's going to take me a year. But even so, I want to like congratulate you for even if it was going to take a year, you still took the step to jump in, which most people wouldn't. But was it kind of crazy how this all kind of evolved? Because some people think maybe it's going to take a year, but all of a sudden, when you start taking those steps, other things just start opening up and it starts happening faster than you could have even believed.
Oh yeah, and when I got that first sign up, I was definitely on cloud nine. I was like, "Whoa, this is okay. This is real. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Let's go all in."
It's awesome. So if there's any preschool or if there's any women out there who are watching this and like, should I jump into preschool all stars? Is it right for me? Maybe I don't want to do it right now. Maybe in the future I'll jump in. What would you say to them?
I would say do it now, do it while you can. It really just comes down to, with what I've learned, there's never going to be the right time. And even if you quote unquote fail, you're just going to end up where you started.
Mm,
And versus getting all the work done and seeing if it actually works or not.
yeah,
Right? So I think money invested in yourself is always worth spending,
yeah.
and I'm just excited for the future. There's really no cons to going all in.
Love that. And
Yeah.
we are super excited to see your June summer camp evolve. So keep posting in the group about it. We can't wait to see that, see it filling up. So thank you again for being here. And for those watching, to jump into Preschool All Stars, go to preschoolallstars.com. Well, Jen, thank you again for being here. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.